back. This morning, we're shining a spotlight on incredible new footage obtained in the case of the Delphi murders. We're now able to see the last known photo of Abby Williams and Libby German, the victims in this horrific case. These two are the young children who were murdered by Richard Allen in the year 2017 in Delphi, Indiana. Allen was recently found guilty, you'll recall, and sentenced to spend 130 years in prison. And now, thanks to this newly released evidence, we can also go inside of Richard Allen's case, inside his jail cell, and inside of his interrogation. Take a look.
You're gonna pay for what you've done to my wife.
What am I doing?
You wanna with me, but you leave my wife out of this. Leave me out of it.
No, you're involved in this. You're around there, Rick.
No, it's not.
I can see you're getting off. I understand.
I am off. Did you not see my wife?
Did you not see these two girls dead? No, that's what happened. You got off, Adam. Dragging them down a hill, and you killed.
I didn't.
You told me you didn't.
I didn't kill any.
You're upset for a reason, not because
you guys are trying to kill somebody.
You're trying to tell me that I'm not making this round up, Rick. It is what it is.
I'm done talking. Arrest me.
Happy to.
Oh, fiery exchange right there. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to dig in big time right now. And fortunately, we have our resident case expert here in the studio to help me do that. Barbara McDonald, Court TV, senior producer with our documentary unit, and someone who's followed the case from its inception. You did the Down the Hill podcast on this. And so this was one you followed literally start to finish, and now here we are. You just were mailed this piece of evidence.
Yes.
Tell you how fresh this is, my friends. Barbara's still going through it. Look, just got this.
Thumb drive in the mail, snail mail.
Oh my gosh. And it's hours upon hours of
exhibits. So it's like 3 hours of interrogation videos. It's probably an hour and 15 minutes or so of confession, phone calls. Now, the entire hour and 15 isn't him confessing, but it's the phone calls. And then we got some video, drone video of the trails.
Wow.
We got some photos, like of the bullet and the gun that were collected and things like that. But we didn't get everything.
Okay.
A lot is not being released. We didn't get any of the crime scene photos. Any of the graphic images, all of that was held back, and many other files were as well.
Sure. So these are things, now that the case is closed, you can understand, members of the media, you know, the court is allowing these things to be made public. So you were one of the members who sat in the courtroom during the trial.
Yes.
Folks like yourself are receiving these things in the mail this week. Barbara, take us back. A moment ago, we saw that fiery exchange. Give us some context to that, if you would.
So that was his second interrogation. That happened leading right into his arrest. In fact, just minutes after that, he's arrested and placed in handcuffs. And this was him going in voluntarily to talk to them. He wanted to pick up his car that had been seized in the search warrant 2 weeks prior. And they said, sure, come on down and you can have your car back. So he and his wife show up thinking that they're going to pick up their car, and instead they're told, oh, we just have a couple of quick questions for you, and led into interrogation rooms.
Okay, so this is helpful. So this is after, and he cooperated way back when he talked to police. I remember we knew
back
that.
in 2017, he said, I'd been out at the trails.
Sure.
He said, I didn't see Abby or Libby, but I was out there that day.
He put himself there, which was always something, I know just as someone following it as closely as I could, having not seen the trial like you did, that was always big for me. The other big thing for me was the confession to his wife. We have an audio clip of this. This was huge. Let's take a listen to him admitting to doing it.
Well, I need to tell you something anyway.
Okay. Are you sure you want to talk to me over the phone?
I think I have to.
Okay.
I need you to know that I did this.
What? No. No, you didn't, dear. There's no way. There's no way, dear.
Love me.
There it is, the confession. Barbara, for anybody that had any doubt, that really puts it to bed, hearing the confession come from his mouth. His wife's in denial, but he is not. Was that a moment for the jury? Did you see any reactions, if you recall?
The
when they
jury
heard
was,
it?
was quite stoic during the playing of these calls. They were paying attention, but it was hard to tell which way they were leaning. It is important to note, though, when that call was made, it was about a month after he'd been diagnosed as being psychotic, and about 3 weeks after he'd been given the first dose of an antipsychotic medication. The prison logs indicated that that course of treatment hadn't yet started to work. And he was given another course of that treatment a week after that phone call was made. And he was also in solitary confinement in a maximum security prison. So, you know, one could argue that his conditions contributed to his mental decline. He also lost a tremendous amount of weight in jail, about 80 or 90 pounds at one point.
I remember you telling us about this, that he was eating his papers.
He was eating papers, he was eating his own waste, he was banging his head into the cell. A lot of really disturbing behavior that led to that diagnosis.
I would love to, I don't think we have a lot of time to spend on this, but curious, did the state push back on that? Did they say he was feigning it?
They said that the period of psychosis was shorter and that by the time he was making these calls, he was no longer psychotic, was their version of the events. The defense did put on a psychologist, a forensic psychologist, who said that no, she believed he still was psychotic at the time. So
Interesting.
the jury
About all the
clearly went with
experts
the
there.
state.
Sure. Barbara, I want to ask you about the round, the unspent round that was deemed to have cycled through his gun. This was always, for me, something that I couldn't get past. He denied it, though, right? This is a video
In the
of it.
interrogation, he denies that's his round.
Yeah.
No way.
And exactly where at the scene, if you could kind of describe for us, it was near one of the
It was
children,
near
right?
Liberty German's foot. It was about 6 inches from her foot, in between the bodies of the two girls, and it was pointing down into the ground. So I believe it was only that, and forgive me, the stamp end, is that what it's called? The back end that says Winchester?
Sure,
That's what
where
was
the
showing up
primer is.
out of the ground. Yes.
You could see the- okay,
So it was down
yeah.
like this in the ground.
Ah, okay. Boy, that's interesting. And a gun was not used to kill
No.
these precious
They
children.
do believe that perhaps a gun was used to scare the girls and gain control of them to get them to go with him. But there's no definitive proof other than this bullet at the scene that a gun was used in that way.
Sure. Did the state theorize that he might have had one in the chamber and
Yes,
racked
and he
it
said he
and-
did typically carry that way. That when he did carry his gun, now he says he didn't have his gun the day that the girls were abducted and killed, that he did voluntarily go out to the trails. He said that, but he said, I did not have a gun or a knife with me. But he said when he did carry his gun, he did typically have one chambered.
Yeah, so that would make sense. Anybody who knows, you could easily.
Right, and if you're
it
perhaps
ejects.
making the noise to scare the girls into compliance, that's going to fly out.
Right. Oh, boy. This is something. Barbara, I look forward to hearing more from you as you continue pouring through this evidence. Barbara McDonald, thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Julie.